Hey YouTube, how you guys doing today? Smells like Vin, and I'm gonna be bringing you guys another episode of Music Talk. And yeah, so stick around. It's probably gonna be a bit of a long video. But a couple things. First, I have 87 subs. Thank you guys very much. Two, I just joined a band. And the band I started jamming with my good friend Corey, who's a guitarist. And we're having a lot of fun, and on Saturday, this weekend, we are going to go to his neighbor's house who plays bass. He's got an electric drum kit connected to a bass amp, and I'm psyched. I'm pumped. And it's going to be, fun. And second thing is, I got myself a cup of hot cocoa. Reason? I want to be fancy like Maiden Slave, who drinks coffee during his reviews. No, I'm just kidding. I made the cup, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do a video while drinking it. I'm pretty creative. Thing is, though, I know it's like, why are you mentioning that? Who gives a shit? I don't eat or drink during my reviews, so I'm just letting you guys know I will be sipping it throughout this video. So, the reason I mentioned the whole band thing is because we kind of want to try to do a stoner metal thing, a doom stoner metal thing in the vein of bands like Black Sabbath and Sleep. And I love stoner metal. Stoner metal is awesome. And so I'm just going to talk about it in this video. I'm going to talk about why I like stoner metal, the bands I really like in stoner metal, and some great albums to get you guys started. But first, what is stoner metal, you might ask? And if you think the title sounds, if you think it sounds, damn it, if you think it sounds self-explanatory, well, sort of is. Let's see, back in the 70s, there was a band, Black Sabbath. I love Black Sabbath. Everyone knows who Black Sabbath is. They're often seen as the creators and innovators of heavy metal, and I would agree with that statement. But the cool thing about them is if you take a look at an album like Master of Reality, released in 1971, it has a heaviness to it. It has a sludginess to it. It has a fuzziness to it that would influence a movement way later on that they didn't even know they were influencing, and that's doom metal and stoner metal and sludge metal. I love these genres because they take metal, they make it slow, they make it heavy, they make it sometimes very trippy, very psychedelic, they make it groove-laden, they make it powerful, and it's awesome because I know a lot of people are going to get annoyed by this, but when I think heavy, I don't think thrash, I don't think death metal, I think this type of metal, really slow and heavy and pumbling, and it literally feels heavy, like it has weight to it, like it's just crushing you, and that's what stoner metal and doom metal is all about for me. But today I want to focus on stoner metal because I'm not gonna go too much into drugs, but I will tell you I did used to smoke pot, and like I said, it's not anybody's business why or when or how or whatever, but I did used to. But I just want to make clear that A, I don't do it anymore, and B, you do not need to indulge in the use of drugs to enjoy stoner metal. The only reason it's given that name is because A, sometimes the bands talk about pot, and B, it's just like for stoners because it's slow and trippy and whatever. But I don't think you have to be, drug user to enjoy it. Probably make it better if you did, but you don't have to. I remember a dude was talking about this in a forum I was reading, and he said, if you don't enjoy music, if you enjoy music only when you're high, it's probably not good music. I don't know if I totally agree with that. I mean, I know what he's getting at, but I do agree in the fact that, like, if I listen to a song and let's just say the band sucks, they have like no talent at all, I listen to it when I'm sober, I'm like, man, this sucks. I listen to it when I'm high, I'm like, yeah, man. Then obviously it's probably not good music because I'm under the influence of drugs, so I'm like, yeah, it's great, you know what I mean? But it's not. So that's the first thing. But some stoner metal bands I really like. First up is Sleep, and Sleep, fantastic band. One of the coolest bands I've ever listened to in my life. I've been listening to them a lot lately. I'm gonna pick up a shirt too soon. For my collection, which I'll probably do that too in one of these episodes. I'll show you all my band T-shirts because I have a lot. I have I think maybe 35 now. I have a ton. But beside the point. Sleep were a band who were influenced, and before I start, did Sabbath influence the genre? Absolutely, no denying it. However, does every single band in the stoner metal genre sound like Sabbath? Hell no. I'm so sick of reading reviews of, like I was reading a review of a band who I'm going to talk about in a little bit, called Acid King. I don't want to give it too much away because I'm going to go into more detail, but they don't sound like Black Sabbath at all. Yeah, they're slow, they're heavy, they don't even sound like Black Sabbath. Reading a review, they have blacker than Sabbath doom. It's like they don't sound like Black Sabbath. They're influenced by Black Sabbath, but they don't sound that much like Black Sabbath. But if there was ever a band who did sound like Black Sabbath, it is Sleep. Most notably in their album Holy Mountains. It's called Sleep's Holy Mountains, but take a song like Dragonaut, which is, if you couldn't tell by the title, is about riding a dragon into space. Ride the dragon towards the crimson eye, flap the wings under Mars' red sky, as the reptile moves out into space, leaving behind the human race. Really trippy lyrics, fuzzed out guitar, almost wah-wah drenched bass, weird effects on the vocals, just weird shit, and it makes it trippy and psychedelic. But at the same time, any metal fan would love it because it's heavy and it just punches you in the face. If you wanna hear this is why I shouldn't drink when I'm doing videos. If you want to kind of hear what this band sounds like and see what this band sounds like, see what they sound like, see what they look like, look up Dragonaut music video. Great music video. Funny enough, the first practice I had with my friend, his mom's boyfriend's really into Sleep, and I didn't even know that they had a music video for that song, and he just showed it to me. I was like, dude, thanks, and I've been watching it. It's really cool. One more sip, I'm sorry. Oh wait, that was good. So, yeah, awesome band, great band. Lyrics are really weird. In fact, I've been writing lyrics for my band, and I'm not the greatest lyricist, but I gotta say, I've been taking basically all my influence from Sleep. I really like writing about space, and about wizards, and about shit like that. It's kind of corny, but I like it for that reason. And they've been having a really large influence on me lyrically and just musically. Great band. Next is Acid King, as I previously mentioned. And Acid King, an interesting band, because, okay, first thing is they have a girl singer. Her name is Lori. And fun fact, I'm a huge Melvins fan, as you guys probably know. I've reviewed almost all their early material before they got signed to a major label, but they were still awesome then. Melvins are always awesome. But, yeah, I'm a huge Melvins fan. I love the Melvins. And the Melvins drummer, one of the best drummers of all time, Dale Crover, was married to Lori, but they got divorced. Don't know why, none of my business. Anyway, so, yeah, she's a girl singer, and she sort of reminds me of a girl version of Ozzy Osbourne if you put a shitload of reverb on his vocals. She just sounds crazy. She almost sounds like a witch talking about all these topics. And it really helps the atmosphere of this particular band. And she the whole, like, take an album like Boosie, I think I like to pronounce it Boos Woods, but I think it's Boosie Woods, I'm not sure, but it's the second full-length LP, and the whole album has this really hypnotic kind of sit down, like, Jaws, kind of just sitting and you're like waking yourself up and sitting there. It's extremely hypnotic, and I think it's done in part by Laurie's vocals, and what also helps is the guitar tone of this particular band. The guitar tone is so thick, and it's almost like rich, like it's deep. That's one thing I love about stoner metal. The guitar tone is deep. When you listen to it, it sounds like there's layers and layers and layers of distortion just being thrown onto the mix, and you feel kind of like a high frequency and a low end frequency, and it's just such a deep, rich tone. I love it. And the bass is always audible in this band's catalog. You always hear it, and you hear, when if you certain guitarists and just certain tunings and certain, not tunings, but certain, I know nothing about guitars, so excuse me, but certain styles of playing and tones, once the guitarist hits a screen, you hear the pick sliding against the strings, and it gives that real nice, satisfying kind of sound. The bass is always doing that. It just sounds so thick and like it's just punching you in the face. It's awesome. And it gives the band a really heavy, low-end kind of sound. So this is definitely a band to check out. Some albums I really like are Boos Woods and 3. It's just what it's called. The third studio album, it's just called 3. Great stuff. Some of the most distinctive and interesting music I've ever listened to. If you're into, if you're open-minded about the metal you listen to, give Acid King a try. You won't regret it, trust me. Third is going to be Electric Wizard. And, it annoys me how metalheads take a band like Slayer, and I love Slayer. In fact, I am going to review some Slayer albums in the near future. But they take a band like Slayer and they're like, man, they're the heaviest band ever. But they don't listen to bands like Electric Wizard that are truly earth-shatteringly heavy. Their sound can only be described as one of a kind. There's not any other bands that sound like them. And I'll tell you why. First thing, guitar tone. The guitar tone that Electric Wizard uses, it changes over time, but in my opinion, their prime, which was their second album, Come My Fanatics, and their third album, the highly acclaimed Dope Throne. Take a song like Funeralopolis on their second album, the second song on their second album. Second song of their third album, Dope Throne, sorry. Kind of a Sabbathy lead, kind of comes in for about a minute and a half. Then this riff hits you. And this riff sounds like a combination of a giant taking two giant rocks, scraping them together with explosions going in the background. Every time Juz, I don't know what his name is, it's hard to pronounce, I think it's Juz O'Born. Every time this dude switches chords or switches his riff around, you hear a every time he switches his chord, and it's like you're sitting there like, oh my god, like it's almost like claustrophobic, and the bass is just hitting you, and the drums boom, and then he starts to sing, and his vocals are they really just sound like this. They sound like he's in like trapped underground or something. You can barely hear what he's saying, and he's talking about the world exploding and the zombies and all this shit, and it's mind blowing. It's literally mind blowing. That's the first thing I love about these guys. I totally just like had a brain fart. That's the first thing I love about these guys. The second thing I love about these guys is and what I love about stoner metal in general is it's spacey. It's very out there. It's the type of music you put on and get kind of zoned out to. And I should have mentioned this in when I was talking about Sleep and Acid King, but really trippy, spacey kind of sound that these guys have, and it's absolutely fantastic. And take a song like the 15-minute epic Weird Tales. It's a really long title, but I'm not even going to try to say it because it's like 28 characters. It's ridiculous, but Weird Tales is just the general name of the song. Comes in with this really heavy riff, just attacking you, and then everything gets really quiet, and you hear this feedback from the amp that literally sounds like it's from another planet. And I remember this is before, you know, right now I can really get into. Before, I used to be the type of person who, like, if a song didn't get to something right away, or if it was a long song, I'd get really, like, I just want it to end, and I'm not like that anymore. I sit, I listen, I get into the atmosphere. And I remember the first time I heard this song, it really didn't do that much for me. I'm like, okay, feedback for like 10 minutes. Yay, you know what I mean? Who cares? But I listened to it a second time during this summer, and I was like, damn, it puts you in this other mindset, and it's spacey, and it's very, very hypnotic. And it just kind of puts me in another state of mind. I just like to sit down and listen to it. It's almost like a therapeutic kind of thing. It's really cool. I suggest you guys look up that song. And, yeah. Those are my 3 favorite stoner metal bands. I'm getting into new ones every day. I've been listening to Fu Manchu lately. Been looking up some lists. Might get some Kaya stuff. I know some of you might be surprised I didn't mention them. But, yeah. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. I love this genre, and if you guys have any albums you'd like to recommend to me, please do. I'd love to learn more about the genre and listen to more. But until then, I'll be listening to Sabbath, Sleep, Acid King, Wizard, you know, The Godfather, Sabbath, all that shit. And thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time. And make sure to comment if you have anything to say. I really like getting comments on my videos, especially when it's like a discussion kind of thing. So feel free to say whatever you want, as long as it doesn't bother me. I'll read and respond to every single one. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for 87 subs. You guys are awesome. See you guys next time.